Hello, my name is Allison Carmen, and welcome to my podcast, 10 Minutes to Less Suffering. And the name of today's podcast is We Save Ourselves. And I know I'm going to sound very outdated right now, but growing up, even though I wanted to get educated, and even though I wanted to work, and even though I wanted a career, I was sold this idea that getting married was going to be my safety. And getting married was going to give me the life that I wanted. I never really thought it through. I never thought about someone taking care of me. It was just that notion of marriage and meeting somebody and having a family was going to give me that safety that I needed in order to have a good life. And it might sound to many women to be not a liberated thought, but this was a long time ago. And there were a lot of mixed messages. And I still believe actually that a lot of people are sold that today, that marriage is the answer to our problems, or some of us are told that our career will be the answer to our problems, or where we live will be the answer to our problems. There's always this idea out there that there's something that will save us and make everything okay. And this is not the first time I've spoken about this idea, but I find it keeps coming up, that we keep hooking to something in the outside world. And because life is uncertain, because things always change, if we really believe that something or someone will save us at some time, we're never going to cultivate the strength within us to be independent and to be strong, but we're also always going to get wiped out when the thing we were holding on to for dear life goes away. And some of us get really lucky and we don't have a lot of bumps in our lives. And so this notion that we hold on to holds. But most of us have moments in our lives where we lose that thing that we thought we would have that would make everything okay. And if we don't feel all right on the inside, and we don't know we have what it takes, and we believe in this idea of saving, it's going to be really hard to get up. When we get knocked down, we are going to suffer greatly, and we're never really going to achieve what we truly want in our lives. Because this idea of saving equals compromise. This idea of saving makes us look for safety instead of making us look for our best lives. We look for safety, we look for certainty because we want to know we're going to be okay. That's what saving is all about. That something will hold us, that will protect us, that will make sure we will live a long, happy life. And then we compromise on our relationships, we compromise on what we choose to do, we compromise on everything for something that doesn't exist. There is one safety in our life, and that safety is how we feel about ourselves. That's the only safety there is. The safety is I trust I'll be okay no matter what. The safety is I have what it takes to be okay. The safety is I will find my way. The safety is I can do this. That's the safety that we have in life. And that feeling actually, believe it or not, is the most secure feeling in the world. And I remember this so clearly when my husband told me he wanted to leave me. I was heartbroken, but at the same time, that thought of how am I going to be okay? How am I going to afford my life? How am I going to keep my home? How am I going to help my kids? How am I going to have enough money to live? Being betrayed is a horrible feeling, but not believing that you could be okay is one of the worst feelings in the world. And many of us believe that about our jobs, about situations with our children, about relationships that we have, and we hold on for dear life. And there's always this deep vulnerability about ourselves. And again, it's not about like or desires. There's nothing I desired more than to hang on to my marriage. And you might desire to hang on to your job or friendship, whatever you want, and that's okay. But if we're holding on for dear life and we don't have a sense of ourselves, then we're just going to compromise ourselves and not live our most authentic life. And I know I've talked about this before, but it's one of the most important aspects of who we are. And it affects how we act, and it affects our choices, and it affects how far we're willing to go. And I learned the hard way. And that fall from where I was really rough. But I do wonder, had I felt okay, it would have hurt. But that deep fear I had of not being able to exist without him, it was so devastating. And I know that I don't want to ever feel that way again. And I don't want you to feel that way. And it's not about not having the job. And it's not about not having intimate, loving relationships. They're so beautiful and meaningful. It's that keeping that sense of self and not letting the uncertainty of life dictate what you choose to do. Stay in relationships. We don't go back to school. We don't go for the highest, best job. We don't allow our kids to be truly who they are because we want them to have a safe path, a guarantee. But the only guarantee is how we see ourselves in life. That's it. If we love ourselves, if we believe in ourselves, you can guarantee that to yourself. But when you guarantee that to yourself and you have that deep trust and you have that deep love for yourself, then you are creating a certainty. You're creating a certainty that you will land on your feet. You're creating a certainty that you will get up every day and try. And you're creating a certainty that you are going to give it your all to make your dreams come true. And those are the people that move forward with life with dignity and grace and are more likely to find their way. And I want that for myself, and I want that for you. I want you to try to gently let go of this idea that you need everything in your life to be okay. And I get it. There are some things that you don't want to live without. I get that very deeply. But there are some things that we hold on to because we're afraid. And those are the things, if we can let go of so gently, slowly, day by day, moment to moment, we could glide more into our true freedom. Uncertainty is not your enemy. It is actually your best friend, because if you want your life to change, it has to happen in the unknown. Our addiction to certainty is really our enemy, because we choose that over ourselves. We choose that over an open heart. We choose that over a true relationship. We choose that over our dream. We choose that over connecting and being intimate with the people around us and the possibilities that we can achieve in this lifetime. Nothing saves us, but we save us. And I have to tell you, I would rather bet on myself than on the circumstances I can't control. Think about that. You bet on the person you know the most. You bet on the person that you can count on. You bet on the person that shows up every day, and that's you. And it feels better. At the end of the day, recognizing you can't control the things outside of you, but you could control how you show up, it is the most grounded feeling in the world. Because you can connect to yourself, and you can trust yourself, and you will always be by your side. If you really want to have the strength and resilience to go out into the world, that is the way to do it. That's how you build strength. And then you're more likely to get there because things don't knock you down, because you didn't believe anything was going to save you. When you save you, you achieve your dreams. You achieve the miracle. And I'd rather spend my whole life trying to get to the place I want to get than accept so much less and live with such fear and vulnerability that I need certain things in my life to be okay. That is the worst feeling in the world. Because if you lose that thing, you crumble. And I have come back from the ashes to tell you that you have what it takes to trust yourself and believe in yourself. And that what you don't know is your best friend, because everything you think, everything you believe in, everything you dream of is real. It just hasn't happened yet. Don't be afraid to let go of what hurts you. Don't be afraid to let go of what's not working. Don't be afraid to let go of the things you hold on because of fear. And when you're able to do that, you can embrace the love for yourself and the belief in yourself, and you will save you, and you will create the life that you want. Thank you for listening to this podcast today. If you'd like to get in touch with me, you can email me at Allison@AllisonCarmen.com. If you'd like to buy my books, The Gift of Maybe or A Year Without Men, they're available at all major bookstores and online retailers. And if you like this podcast, you could subscribe and leave a comment.